Now, my name is Magnus Wharton, and I'm growing senile at a young age from too much smoke inhalation, but I'm only on once today. Just trying to shave what's left of my brain. So, with the, there's not much talking about. So, how do you make programming seem cool? Well, it's a bit like when rap was cool. Before you could do it. Now, yes, I'm at the stage now. I'm 36. And I did my homework, finally. I can tell you can go so many years of stuffing around in your life, you're not really working, you're just sort of exploring and just using your senses pretty much. And you do things for fun and slight enjoyment, but you're not really trying that hard, you're not really going hell for leather for efficiency. But there is a time when you realise that, I might start fucking trying now. And you think a lot harder, and I did it, and I've worked on a ton of stuff that dated well before my birth. A lot of the stuff that I found that is very useful in making video games. Yes, I'll have to tell you they've had realistic looking stuff for a long time. That's why if you ever had like a little analog dream about old computers really rocking something, that was fucking true. They had some pretty amazing stuff. And recently I've been going on about this. I love this Lego logic stuff. Like you can make a computer out of wood, and I think the only problem with it has a lack of registers. But you can have the whole ALU in the bastard in wood. You can do an ALU in wood, I'm pretty sure. I just want to have rolling marbles around and things like that. But this quantum computing craze, when you want to go super efficient, like you start thinking, what about these quantum computers? And what's about them? Are they fucking easy? Are they even possibly be true to be that? And you think about it, and you're like, well, if you want an optimization that freaking good, and then I started looking around at optimizations I already knew, like binary trees, that's log. Like any form of halving type system that gets there in halves will be a log system. But, so what do you want to talk about when you were a kid? It's so boring. I grew up on Andre Lamos books. Yeah. And just with Jason, my other partner in crime. And I remember when I first got to use Super VGA, and I was like, holy shit, man, that's amazing. Yeah, and you sort of get hand-me-downs from all the guys, the hardware guys hand me down the drivers, and you get a trickle-down effect to the trickle-up effect to the high-level little kids. But all you have to do is open up the motherboard manual, and it just tells you the fucking CPU pins. That's when you're doing things for real. Like you said, no, I'm old now, of course. I know that. Well, you can spark your computer pins anytime you want, little chimpy, little chumpy, anytime you want. Yes, but you don't have to. Like I've got so many avenues in front of me now. I'm not at the end. It's like God, but because of the smoking, I don't feel I've got much of a chance going ahead with anything. But like you can make a computer from scratch, and you don't have to learn any pin diagrams. And I've got right here is my little oscillator. I was so close to working. But the cool thing is that we use the old Putang wire technique. Let's see if it's going to work, which was named a couple of days ago by my next door neighbour. And I can get half of it working, but I put it's a twin tub oscillator. I put the two halves together, it stops working for some reason. It does all sorts of crap things. It pisses me off. They're like gods in the fucking thing, just making it not work. And and you got like transmission delay. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, just fucking, you better not put this on the internet, because you can teach people in 2 seconds, man. Just taught this guy particle accelerators in fucking half an hour, and he's already ripped and ready to go. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, But you can surely test the speed of electricity with that thing, and then there's going to be some things after that, after you make the delay computer. You think you're sort of stuck with the speed of light. Who cares if you are? And if you want to go make a computer, you know, the end of a pin is all you need, and then it becomes like a monstrously, like over miniaturized computer. The computers don't have to get smaller than the end of a pin, or it's just there's going to be heaps more problems, like resistance and stuff like that. And, one of my latest ideas was how it wouldn't be quite super small, but if you got a razor, which is like the end of a pin, and you scratch tracks onto a bit of plastic, could you bloody ink the bastard with the conduction? And you know, like charcoal is a conductor. But like you said, that'd be a good way to get like a little small line. If I can scratch with a razor, the bastard should freaking ink. Should try inking it and go, yep, it's in there. Maybe just dreaming too much. So, yeah, like, well, what about when you were a kid? Oh, it all just goes flooding through. I remember that you learnt very slowly. You weren't very efficient, but you used to do lots of work, but none of it worked at all. None of it was any good. I used to write 30,000 line programs, but that was all just crap. They didn't even run. You get more efficient later on when you want to try a bit harder. All my model editor ideas were atrocious. But one really good thing you did later on was I ended up, I always come up with this big idea, but when I actually go and do it, it ends up slightly different. But in the end I realized, I just did the same, what you said, but it ends up sort of slightly different. But once you've seen it fucking go in, it's more invisible to your eye how mysterious it is. It demystifies it. So yeah, one thing you did do is I know how they get real-time ray tracers to work with GPUs. The GPU demos look freaking amazing. They look real, because you can visualize fractals with a ray tracer. Very easy trick is if you've got a mountain which has a never-ending floor, like it just goes forever, you can hone for the top of it. And that's like one basic way to do ray tracing really quick. And what you do, all you're basically missing is the front occlusion. So if you could somehow go off your last result and find the closer occlusions to the camera, then give it a cool torrent lighting, it'd be bloody amazing. Like games these days should look fucking amazing. When I do that, there's things I had to do. What did I do? Just never finished anything. I was just always have some deranged way of making models which would have a too high a workload, or some game that I got bored in. I couldn't quite finish until I got bored of it. I played it too much and then just got bored and couldn't finish it. Because video games are more exciting than movies, more exciting than comic books, but in the end you still have to put the work in to finish them, and I never had quite the effort, the impetus to finish things. And that's how you'd be unemployed for a long time. The world really wants you to get kick-started early, but what was I doing? Just being lazy, wasting my brains. God, you're supposed to have a panic attack and realize that, shit, people aren't going to look after me. I should get working. That happened too late for me. Now I'm already freaking dead. Wasn't entirely my fault though. You're supposed to go for it. The Immortal Cup is a good engineering. Go for your life. A lot of men try to do it and fail. Here's another one. If all the guys doing AI up to now couldn't do it, were they extremely lazy people? And we're seeing a current burst of enthusiasm towards AI for some fucking reason. And like, it may just be I'll hire a big Goliath search. So you got a chess search, and then you got a Leviathan search after that, and it may be that simple. Did none of those guys in the olden days know that? Did that ever cross their minds? Why is there nothing like why isn't there full automation yet? Maybe they knew, but they couldn't put it together. Maybe it did happen, but God stopped it from happening, so stop this.